Good day, this is Ray. Today is Saturday, November 25th, 2023 for me. Another day of learning and growing. I hope that you, your family, friends, and loved ones are doing well and staying safe. And just kind of a brief recap of last week. So I recorded my video on Friday. The next day I had my exam. Well, I failed it. Am I upset about it? Not really. I wish I had passed it on the first time around, but I knew it was going to be a challenging one. This is the toughest class out of the 5 that I need. The last class that I scheduled is actually going to be the easiest one. It's an elective, and it's something that already is part of my industry. Something that I've been learning for the past 12, 13 years. So, in a few weeks, I'll be retaking the exam. And, basically, since I failed it, I've been studying every day the difficult sections, the sections that I knew that was going to be tough. And now that I have a feel for the exam, that I think I can go in it with a little bit more ease and feel better prepared. But anyway, that Saturday was actually pretty weird. So I went to a testing facility that I've never been to before. I normally don't test on Saturdays. When I do my exams, I normally go throughout the week. And what I found with the past few exams that I've taken is that when I do that, there are only maybe 1 or 2 people that are taking exams that day throughout the week. Not on Saturday. So you have people who are taking all sorts of examinations that aren't related to my industry. And at this particular place, there was about, if I had to guess, about 20 people. And they had 20 seats to be able to, for us to take the exam. Now, the messed up thing is that there was only one person to check us in. And I was, one of the last people in line, not knowing that it was going to be as backed up as it was. I just didn't know what the check-in process would be, because normally when I would go to check in for these exams, previously, it'd take me about 5 minutes, really, just to sign paperwork and get logged into the computer to start the exam. Well, in this case, it took about 25, 30 minutes for me before I was sat down to take the exam. So I was a little bit stressed already. And then that situation definitely made things more stressful. So that's that. Moving on to other things. So, before I talk about what I'm going to talk about, initially I was thinking about giving an update of my final numbers this weekend, because it's the last weekend of November. But there are some things that I need to finalize with my consumer debt pay down. One of the good things is that I'm less than $1,000 away from paying off the $115,000 of consumer debt, which I identified back in June of 2020. So that's a huge milestone. It's not necessarily was a goal, but I'm making it a goal. I might be able to hit that before the end of the year. I'm not going to push for it because I still have to fully rebuild my emergency fund, which I'll talk about more next week. So the title of my video is Saturday Meds. Now, every day I take medications to fight some of the symptoms of lupus. And so 4 times a day, I'm taking medications. My first set of medications is at 5 a.m. The reason for that is because I have to take some medications on an empty stomach. So I go to bed, wake up, stomach's empty, 5 a.m., take first set of medications. And then at 6 a.m., I take a bulk of my medications actually at 6 a.m. because with those medications, I'm supposed to take it with a meal. I take it with breakfast. Right now it's 6:27. So I had my breakfast, I had my medications. That's that. I used to take medications at noon, but I thought better that after a while I said, well, since I'm going to have to take my second set of medications, my third set of medications on an empty stomach, I'll have lunch. And then about at 5 o'clock every day, 5 p.m., I have my second set of medications. So that works out perfectly because my first set of medications and my third set of medications are the same, and they're supposed to be 12 hours apart. 5 a.m., 5 p.m., second set of medications. And then at 6 p.m., I have my fourth set of medications, which also I'm supposed to have with a meal and a lot of water. So like clockwork, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m. I have my medications. I've been doing that for years. I was diagnosed with lupus May of 2019 when I first started taking medications. My mom helped me to get, used to taking medications to keep track of them, and I just run with it. And one of the things I hear from the doctors and my rheumatologist is, he asked me, "Are you taking your meds?" He used to ask me, "Was I taking my medications?" And then I showed him my schedule. And I said, I hadn't missed a dose. I hadn't missed a dose since I started taking medication. Now, there was a few times, it's been a while, but where like I would take medications and then maybe like 20, 30 minutes later, I would vomit, just get sick. And so I guess that missing a dose because the medications stay me, but, very regimented when it comes to taking the medications. And, fortunately, I haven't had a hospitalization in since February of 2020. And that's when I had my grand mal seizure. Definitely grateful for that because I've, of course, being able to stay out of the hospital is great, but also not having to deal with the financial burden that happens because of that. There were multiple years that I had met my out-of-pocket maximum. My out-of-pocket maximum was $4,600. So that's money that would come out of my pocket. Now, the medications, I'm not paying the full cost of the medications, but the medications go towards my claims as a full price. So that does help. But $4,600 is a lot of money, especially when, I didn't have an emergency fund and I was using credit cards to pay those bills, and I even had to take out a 401k loan to pay part of that. So that's part of the reason of my debt. And even though I have less than $59,000 left to pay, was still a lot. I'm in a better position now. But when it comes to lupus and medications, or having a chronic illness and medications, it's definitely important to make sure you're staying on top of when you're supposed to take it and get into the routine of doing that. And just as best you can, making it work. So when I finish work, I log off at 5. Whether it be I'm at home or if I'm at the office, I'm off when I'm supposed to be off, and then I can go ahead and take my medications when it's time to do that. Now looking back, I hated taking meds. It just felt like a job. It felt like just something completely unnatural, something that I protested mentally, but I did it. And, I'm glad that I am doing it. And, I'm feeling better than I did when I first got sick. Thinking back when I was 145 pounds, 50 pounds lighter than what I normally am, when I couldn't walk, when the pain was unbearable. I was using a cane a lot. It's very rare now that I use a cane, but there are some times where I do have to use a cane if I do a lot of walking, especially after, having a doctor's appointment and having to walk that long distance. But it's not often. Thanksgiving just passed, and I'm, grateful for another day. Grateful for another chance to do things better. Grateful for my family, my loved ones, colleagues, and another day. So next week I will give you an update of the final numbers for the month of November, and then actually in December I'm going to give a look back at the previous years, starting at June of 2020 when I started to track paying off my consumer debt. Okay, but if you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. You'll know to post my videos. You can find me at youtube.com/@Lupus Lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day.